so much. I really appreciate joining you guys and sharing with you my 20 years of experience working with celebrities, working with VIPs, and in the fashion and styling industry. And it is my pleasure to share this opportunity with you guys. So thank you very much. And secondly, keep safe. We are in crazy times right now, and I wish you all a lot of safety. So stay safe. So Amrita was right. I've been a stylist since 1997. Some of you guys might not even have been born in 1997. Let me give you some background to me first of all. If my presentation works, let's see if I can get my presentation to work. Here we go. So Amrita was right. I started as being a stylist in 1997, but my journey into styling was very unconventional. I moved from Wales to London in 1991 to work at the BBC, and I trained as a wardrobe person working in film and TV. So I did that from 91 through to 97, where I discovered accidentally the world of styling. And I happened to be working on a massive show here in the UK. It's a soap drama that's been running for a gazillion years. And I was one of the dressers that looked after the principal actors. And I'd been there since 6 in the morning, and it was afternoon, and this crazy lady turned up with bags of clothes, and she threw them at some of the actors. Had some very quick photographs, and then she grabbed all the clothes and she disappeared. She literally was there less than 2 hours. And I remember thinking, what's her job? I want her job. And the guys in the publicity department said, oh, she's a stylist. I said, what's a stylist? I need to know what a stylist is, because I've been here since 6, working on a TV show. I won't leave until 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. She's been here 2 hours and she's gone. I want her job. And so the guys at the on this TV show said, you can be our stylist. And I went, great. I had no idea what a stylist was. I had no idea how to be a stylist. So you guys are in an incredible position where somebody is teaching you how to be a stylist, how to work in the fashion industry, and the how-to that I never had. And I can promise you, I've made a lot of mistakes, but I've made a lot of growing as well. So that's how I got into styling, very unconventional. And way back in those days, there was no such thing as social media. Can you believe? Can you believe? No social media. So, but I've made up for it since, that's for sure. So that brings me to the question, how to kickstart a styling career. It's one of the questions I get asked the most. How do you become a stylist? How do you become a stylist? How are you a stylist? And the first thing I want to say about styling is social media, folks. It's really, really important that you guys are on top of your social media, because without it, nobody's going to know who you are and what you do. Social media is key. How you run your social media, what kind of stories you post, the hashtags that you use on Instagram, whether you use Facebook, whether there's so many options in which you should choose. And you guys, choose carefully and choose and be measured in how you use your social media. So that's one thing. Way back in my day, we didn't have it. And if we had it, I can assure you, I probably would have hit millions by now, because the amount of people I've worked with over my career. And way back then, it was not okay to talk about who you worked with. It was not okay to take photographs. It was not okay to ask for a photograph. These days, it's the norm. So social media, please, 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 social media. Also, I want to look at branding. You will see on my presentation, there's IBM, Coca-Cola, Barbie, Vodafone, there's a bubble on branding. What is your brand? When somebody clicks on your social media, when somebody goes to your Facebook, when somebody looks at your website, what are you communicating before you open your mouth? Before somebody clicks on your portfolio, what is your brand? Who are you? And I'd be very interested in your feedback. Please, by all means, click on my website, have a look at my social media, have a look at my Instagram, and by all means, tell me who you think I am. But it's really important that you think about who you are as a brand and how you're going to share that. Because here's the thing, excuse me, here's the thing. If you don't tell people who you are, people will make up their own mind based on what you put out there, or make up their own mind based on what you don't put out there. So you be in charge of the message that people think about you, and then you create your brand. And when people understand that you're a stylist, you work with men, you work with women, you work with children, you work with props, you specialize somewhere in what you do, then you will become known for it and become recognized as somebody whose speciality that is. And over the years, I've become known as a celebrity stylist, an image consultant, and now we are all moving to online. And that's taken me years to grow that. Another thing, another way to kickstart your career is photographers. Photographers are a wealth of information. And I would suggest that you research the photographers in your area, or research photographers who take photographs, the sort of things that you like to style. Reach out to them, create a little network of photographers that you message now and then, and ask them if they need help, ask them if they ever in charge of using stylists. And photographers are really important people. They're really important people. Often, a magazine will decide who is running the shoot. Quite a lot of the time, a photographer will hold a lot of weight with the team he likes to work with, whether that's hair, that's makeup, that's prop, that's nail, that's body painting, that's styling. They often will have a very clear idea of who they like to work with based on their character and how they deliver. So find photographs. There's also, there's another little picture down here, which is a gray picture, which looks like a spider's web, and that's about building connections. Guys, if you want to kickstart a styling career, you need to be building connections in magazines, online, makeup artists. Think about whose makeup you like. Think about artists who are in management companies. Think about agencies. Begin to put out a little spider's web of connections and begin to join the dots, and that you are somehow in the center of those dots. So find photographers, build connections. And another way of how you kickstart your styling career, particularly if you haven't got any experience, says here, assist other stylists. You know, we all work in very different ways as stylists. I could be on a job where there's three or four other presenters, and they all have stylists, they all have hairdressers, they all have makeup artists, they all have their own glam squads. And you will see that we all work very differently. We have the same job, we do the same thing, but we approach it differently. So assist stylists. If you know stylists in your area, if you've seen stylists, reach out to them, build your connections with them, and ask them, please can I assist you? Please can I come and watch you? Please can I carry your bags? Please can I see how you do what you do? Because it's an incredible way of learning, watching how other stylists work, so you can decide how you want to work. You can decide how you don't want to do things and how you do want to do things. So assist other stylists. And the last thing I want to say, how to kickstart a styling career, is be prepared to start anywhere. I mean, anyway, I started, you know, even the jobs that came my way, I sometimes looked at those jobs and I thought, I don't really want to do that job. And those jobs, they lead on to other jobs that lead on to other jobs that led on to other jobs. And the connections that I've built have been incredible. So be prepared to start anyway. Be prepared to take on other jobs. Be prepared to work in magazines. Be prepared to take stylist clothes back. Just be prepared to start anyway, because stylists like me love keen assistants who will do anything to make my load and my work day smoother. So that's a few suggestions. I hope they make sense. And the people climbing the cool people climbing the ladder, that's be prepared to start anyway. That's what that one is about. Good images. There's one thing I haven't spoken about, of course. That is just on the presentation below the cup of coffee, which is me. There is a studio there. Never underestimate the importance of getting good images. Good images. So find photographers, find models, find people who want to be photographed, and just practice and practice and practice. There's a thing called time for print. TFP, time for print, which means you get together and you all share your skill set and your time for free, so that at the end you get photographs. You all get photographs to put in your portfolio. Time for print. It's the beginning of my career. It was invaluable to build my portfolio in a way that represented me and in a way that got me other clients in the future. So there's a studio on my presentation. That's good image. That's good image. And below that, there's a photograph of a portfolio. It's so important to get your portfolio up and running as soon as possible, because there's one thing to have an incredible social media, to have an incredible website, but if you can't back that up with images that you've produced, then people will see through that. So get good images. Question number one. Okay, let's move on to, let's see if I can do this. Okay, let us move on to interpersonal skills. You guys still there? Haven't fallen asleep yet? No, if I can. Here we go. What interpersonal skills are required to succeed as a celebrity menswear stylist? I'm very sorry, but I found loads of photographs of me to put on this. I can tell you the sort of people I like to work with, and I can tell you what sort of interpersonal skills are important in life that you bring to your job. So I want to talk about forward thinking. Not everybody has the skill to forward think. So when you're on a shoot, inside or outside, hot or cold, forward think, forward plan. Always have an option, always have another plan, always have something up your sleeve which makes you resourceful. So forward thinking, always be forward thinking. Forward thinking about your appointments. What appointments you need to make for a photo shoot? What are the size of the model? What if the sizes aren't correct? Who else are you going to ring? Ring a management. Ring Google sizes. There are just forward think. Never take the information that you're given for granted. So forward think, forward plan. When's your next job? When you're going to do your returns? Forward thinking. So that's the first thing, and that's something that you can learn, I believe. Some people are born with the ability to forward think. I worked in TV, I worked in film. We always had to forward think. When we were stuck outside in a field somewhere, 15, 20 minutes away from the location, from the base where people dressed, I had to have everything with me just in case. To keep artists warm, to keep them dry, to change, spare shoes, you name it. I had to carry it in massive bags, forward thinking, and that prepared me really well for my job as a stylist. Respectful. I think you never underestimate being respectful. I always try to be respectful to people on the phone, to PR companies that I'm trying to loan things from. I find them they're being a little bit cautious or edgy, or they just maybe just trying to get rid of me really quickly. I try and be respectful to these guys. When I take a client into department stores, I am always respectful to the guys, the customer service guys, guys on the shop floor, guys that could be running around for me. I show them respect. I try and make sure the changing room that I use looks better when I leave than before I came. I don't leave clothes on the floor. I respect clothes. I respect people. I respect jobs. And it doesn't matter whether you're at the top or the bottom, everybody gets the same level of respect. So please learn to be respectful. It's really important. Exceed expectations. As a stylist, I'm expected to follow a brief, to deliver a brief, to be on budget, to keep an artist happy, to keep the management happy, to keep exec producers happy, to keep magazine editors happy, to keep everybody happy, to keep the photographer happy. Everybody needs to be kept happy when you're working together as teams on different forums, whether it's film, TV, music, commercials, editorial, online. All these little teams and pockets of people have an expectation on me to deliver what's been requested. And I would say always try and go above and beyond, because it's great to have a stylist that delivers. Yeah, I did my job. But how incredible would it be if people said, oh my gosh, they were incredible. They really brought it to the table. They really delivered. So I think that's really important, to exceed expectations. Manage stress well without showing it. This is key. This is key. We are often finding ourselves in situations of high pressure. Something isn't fitting, something isn't working, something isn't right. We're live, we're live in TV, the atmosphere is really stressful and everybody's getting really antsy, and the hair's not going right, the makeup's not going right, and somebody's sweating, and people are getting really, For me, I try and just manage my stress without showing it. You've seen that photograph of, a duck on a lake, and underneath their legs are, but they're gliding along. That's me, that's us. We need to manage our stress so it's in here, not because having another stress head on the team is not going to help anyone. So learn to manage your stress. And sometimes it's really important to speak out. Sometimes it's important to say, no, we're good. Let's stop, take time out, let's rethink. Sometimes it's time to do that, but other times, manage. Positivity. It's incredible the amount of people I work with that are so really diva-y and really grand and finger clicking. Oh my gosh, I want no, that has no place for me. Positivity. I want people to feel like they've had a really good encounter when they work with me, whether it's personal styling and a client has found me on the internet, or whether it's working on a TV show. Just want to spread positivity. And I think it's really important skill to have when you are meeting people for the first time, that they're not left feeling, a little bit cold, you're a little bit offhand, you're a little bit. You want people to feel like, wow, I really like this person, I'm really connected. And I don't mean fake positive, but just to, to be positive. And not everyone is an extrovert. Not everybody is happy all the time. Some people are introverts, but you can still be positive. You can still exceed expectations, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. Another interpersonal skill is being organized. Have to be so organized when it comes to being a stylist. My office might not be very organized, but everything else that I do has a huge level of organization. When I'm working on a photo shoot, everything is hung up properly and well placed and displayed in a way that visually things look calm. Organized with dates, organized with people, organized with appointments, be on time. And if you're not on time, ring and say, I'm so sorry, I'm going to be half an hour late, I'm going to be 45 minutes late, please can we reschedule? But be organized, because when you're organized, whether it's in a changing room or whether it's on a shoot and whether it's on TV, whatever it is, there is a calmness about being organized, because you can see everything you need. And if somebody asks you a question, you can put your hand on it. You can put your hand on it, and if you haven't got it and you can't see it, then you haven't got it. But being organized, I find, for me, brings me a level of calm. And the last one, I touched on it a little bit about being respectful and positive, is warm and friendly. Never underestimate the power of a smile. You see it in your day-to-day lives. The people that you like, the people, on likes, when you go to your social media, the things that get a lot of likes is a smile. The things that we gravitate towards are a smile, being warm and smiley. So it's, again, you don't have to be an extrovert or an introvert to be warm and friendly. It's not either or, both. Both can be warm and friendly. Okay. Celebrities. So dissecting iconic celebrity style. I've got 4 guys here, 4 guys that represent iconic celebrity style in my eyes. And so the first guy is David Beckham. And David Beckham, to me, so I'm not going to dissect him. What I want to say about David Beckham is that he's somebody who understands how to evolve. From the very minute he stepped out from playing for Manchester United and being with Victoria/Posh Spice, and their journey together, but his journey, how he has evolved from being just a football player with a squeaky voice to a massive fashion brand, and how his own personal sense of style, from his hair to his tattoos to how he dresses, and he has evolved. And with our clients, so with our clients, some of them know how to evolve, instinctively know how to evolve, and some of them need a little bit of help. And the incredible thing with fashion is that it's always evolving. Spring, summer, winter, autumn. Seasons bring different clothes, different palette, different textures, different types of fabrics, different. Just a different weight. The spring, summer, the weight of the fabric is different to autumn, winter. So naturally, seasons change, fashions change, and some celebrities like David Beckham understand how to evolve without looking like they're trying too hard. Another guy we've got here is David Gandy. David Gandy is a recognized. He's a recognized male supermodel that is not a young guy, a bit like David Beckham now. He's somebody that still has what it takes. He's a model. He's worked for a few brands, most notoriously for Marks and Spencer's of late. But he's somebody who knows how to dress for his age. He's age appropriate in his sense of style. He has a uniform which is sharp. He's always sharp. And even so this top line here, sharp, well-cut suits, simple. He accessorizes. Sometimes it's a 3-piece, sometimes it's a 2-piece, sometimes he's got glasses. He shapes his face, he shapes his hair. He's a guy that knows what suits him and evolves around his uniform. And at the bottom, we've got a couple of pictures where he's looking really, really cool in dress down stuff. Here's a man that understands. Okay. This guy, Jared, he's somebody that I love for lots of different reasons. The main reason is I find him totally unpredictable. The only predictable thing about him is that he's pretty unpredictable. And styling somebody like this would be quite a challenge, because on the one hand, he has a uniform which is kind of grungy, dressed down, kind of sweaty biker look. But on the other hand, when he steps out on the red carpet, he never looks the same as everybody else. He doesn't dress the same. He has an edge. And I think the thing about people with an edge is that you either get them or you don't. not everybody, lots of people like commercial styling where people look lovely, the black suit, lovely, but he steps out, you know, here's the circle, he steps out of that circle, and he's fearless. And I like that about him, he's fearless. I imagine styling somebody like him would be incredible because, excuse me. Oh, thank you. I got a coffee, everyone. Every lecturer needs to have coffee. So, so what I like about Jared is that he's out of the box, and styling him would be like always a challenge on how you could push him a little bit further, a little bit edgier, a little bit quirkier, a little bit kind of more crazy. And he's somebody who would get your creative juices going, even though his everyday look is kind of quite bikery. The last guy. Okay, here's somebody. I don't know if you know him. This guy, he's a Formula One driver. His name is Lewis Hamilton. Young guy, grew up from a very young age with a lot of money, and he's somebody who has always had the power to buy anything, and yet I think doesn't always hit it. He's somebody I would love to style, because money is no object, but style seems to be the problem. So with him, he's one guy that I would absolutely love to style. The difference between a personal shopper and a stylist: a personal shopper is making sales, a personal shopper is making style. So when somebody like Lewis Hamilton goes into a shop, he can buy anything he wants. And a salesperson will say, yeah, buy this is cool, buy that is cool, buy this is cool, buy that is cool. And they will walk out with having spent tens of thousands of pounds worth of clothes, but none of that might be stylish, and none of that might fit well. Whereas you guys, as stylists, would take somebody like him and make clothes fit, will be honest with him, will say, you know what, this is good, but we can better this. So, he's somebody that has the power to buy, but not necessarily the style to match his pocket. That makes sense? Okay. How are we doing? You're all still alive? All right. Tips for approaching clients. And getting new clients is difficult. It's difficult because there's so many stylists out there. We're all trying to do the same thing, working in TV, editorial, finding clients. How do you approach clients? Well, I've written a few things here. Sounds familiar to some of the stuff I've said before, but it's so important. Your social medias. Your social media. Clients will find you through your social media. Clients will find you because of a post that you've liked. And you can tag them into things as well. So your social media, get your social media up to speed. Your website. You know, I've had a website for 20 years, and only last year I understood what search engine optimizing meant. 20 years I've had a 20 years I've had a website, and only last year that penny dropped. That meant for 20 years I've been doing my job. 20 years I've been working hard. 20 years I've been producing good content that I've put on my website. Nobody has seen it. Nobody cares. Nobody discovered me because I didn't get it. So get your website, be discoverable. It's no good having the best website. I know. And it's no good having social media if people can't discover you, and in turn, you discover them. Another tip is to new talent. Keep your ear to the ground for new talent, new musicians, new artists, new people who are just new influencers who are kind of rising up. Keep your ear to the ground. Approach them. Follow them on social media. Tell them that you like them, appreciate them. This is how it's by engaging socially, finding their email, finding their management, finding people who represent new talent. Approach them. There's a lot of photographs here. So let's have a look at one. Branding. We've already touched about this. Having your branding up to speed. so that when clients look at your socials, and I know a lot of makeup artists who celebs have gone, I like your makeup, I like what you do, can you do my makeup? So make sure your branding, this is my branding, Phill Tarling Intelligent Styling. That's me, Phill Tarling Intelligent Styling. That's my branding. It's very simple. But here, website, and I talk about website. What's the point of having a website if you can't be discovered? So, so get your website up and running, and make sure that you write and you do stuff and you update it and do the stuff that you do twice a month, that we are meant to update our websites so that our ranking either stays the same or improves. I want to talk about, here we go, management. You know, meeting artists' management is really important, because when an artist manager meets you, then they'll be able to say, yes, you are perfect fit. You are the perfect fit for this person. So hustle them. Agencies that look after stylists, agencies that look after new faces. You know, this is really simple, but it's hard work, because you have to keep going. And this is advice I should have told myself 20 years ago. Just keep hustling, keep hustling, keep hustling, keep hustling. And yeah, this is it. This is new talent. You know, there are superheroes everywhere. Super talent waiting to be discovered. You find them before they're famous. My daughters are incredible on YouTube and some of the social medias. They find people that become famous. You guys find people before they become famous and work on them. I've worked with people that for years and years and years that have kept me from when they were just being discovered to now they are on primetime TV. It happens. It's definitely a way forward. And the last one is magazines. Why did I put magazines on there? Let's have a look. Yeah, so so magazines, it's really easy to be sucked in by what you should be when you're looking for new clients. And magazines are a really good place to look at kind of emerging talent. Often you'll find emerging talent on excuse me. Wow, I'm talking a lot. I'm only halfway through. I hope you've been writing questions, by the way. We will hopefully have time at the end. So magazines, there are magazines and on print and online who promote emerging and new talent. BAFTAs and Oscars and Golden Globes are often promoting new talent. Keep your ear to the ground for new talent. Tips. Hey, here we go. Consultation skills. This, I love this more than anything. So I'm going to rattle through this quite quickly, because I realized that I'm only halfway through and I'm probably 45 minutes in. So here we got mastering the consultation. You know, firstly, have a list of questions ready that you need to ask in your consultation. Think really carefully about what it is you need to know from your gents when you're doing a consultation. And they don't want to be there for hours on end. It could be a phone call, it could be an email, it could be a document that you send and have ready. I suggest you get one. I know all our style colleges certainly have them in their books. So get one and then doctor it so that you know how it works, and only ask relevant questions. And then when you're having a consultation, when you're working through verbally a consultation, you know, there's a huge difference between how a consultation with a woman and a consultation with a guy. With a woman, it's very emotive and how they want to feel, and it's kind of feeling. With guys, it's factual. It's they want to look like this. They don't want to feel like this. They want to look like this. So your language, how you communicate, is really important. Women use 7 words when men use 1. So women, when you are having a conversation with guys about fashion, about clothes, about when you're consulting with them, think of how many words are you using. So when you and think about how you would communicate to the men in your lives about fashion and style, whether it's a brother or an uncle or a father or a cousin, whatever your male relative is. Imagine how quickly they glaze over. And it's the same principle in a consultation. You don't want to overtalk it. And guys, we get it. We get it. We don't want to be overtalked. We just want to you know, this is where I am. This is where I want to be. What can you do about it? Oh, I can do this, that. Great. Boom. Guys, we're just, you know, it's all about streamlining time, making the process quick. So that's, you know, language, just think carefully. And I would say, you know, language should be factual, not emotive. And make sure that when guys talk, you understand what they're saying, because quite often guys might say something like, oh yeah, I don't like color. No, I don't wear color. And you think, geez, it's just black, white, and it's just black and navy. But actually, what they're saying is they probably don't like bright colors. So when a guy in a consultation says something to you, you don't quite get it, repeat it back. It's just a really simple thing. Do you say you don't like colors? Like, you don't like any colors? Oh, no, I like colors. I like yellow and green and brown. I just don't like neon colors. And then suddenly, boom, you've decoded how guys talk. So always think about what it is they're saying. What they're saying may not be massively accurate, because their guys' vocabulary for fashion and style is very different to women's. Not, you know, some guys look at fashion mags, some don't. A lot of women do. So, you know, that women are generally immersed in a language of fashion and style where the guys aren't. So with guys, imagine when you're talking to them, they're just talking about a car. So just don't think fashion, think factual. I want to talk about the process. You know, the process should be really simple. It should be fuss-free. Not a lot of guys like fuss, and they don't like kind of nerviness. So make the process of a consultation, from the start, from the phone call, from the email, to meeting up, to the changing room, to the execution, and to the follow-up. Make it simple, make it easy, make guys want to say, gosh, that was so pain-free. Think about your process. And once you've done that, once you've done your process, then ask yourself, how was that? How will you have done it different, and improve each time you do a consultation? I want to talk about body shapes. You know, if you can't identify a guy's body shape, then how are you going to shop for him? So it's really important in your consultation, and when you meet up, you make sure that you get the real and not ideal size. So I've got 5 different body shapes here. And so it's important that you know what shape they are, their exact measurement sizes, because when you go and take them into a changing room and you've got stuff put aside, you need to know how to best find clothes that fit and flatter the form, no matter what size they are. So whether they are rectangle, whether they are oval, or whether they are inverted triangle, and anything in between, you guys need to know how to dress that. There are plenty. I know the college in Dubai and the college in London are incredible at teaching the different male body types. It's so important, so important. So we've done identifying body shape. I want to talk about changing room etiquette. Going back to what I said earlier on about respect, you know, it's really important to respect the people who work in this changing room, because we are dropping in on their world. And how we add stress to their already busy worlds is really important to consider. So if you can find a personal shopping room or a personal shopping suite that shops will let you go in, or a VIP room, and build relationships with shops so that you can get some really good treatment, do that. Do what it takes for you to be able to have really good experience in a changing room. When you take clothes in, make sure you take one outfit at a time. So I can pretty much guarantee if you take 2 outfits in a room at once, a man will take some from that, and he'll take some from that, and you put it on, they come out, and you'll think, how did you even think that goes? So just keep it simple. One outfit in the changing room, hang it all up, undo laces, undo buttons, make the process as simple as possible. Changing room etiquette is really important to me. How you leave the changing room is really important. All my guys that I teach, I always say to them, you make sure that that changing room is immaculate. It's no good to leave clothes on the floor. It's no good to dump stuff back at the, it's just no good. It's disrespectful. And if you need to go back in that shot another time, they will remember you. So leave the changing room with an attitude of goodwill. And finally, attention to detail. You know, it's really important. It's really important you guys know how a client leaves you with a fit, with clothes that fit and flatter the form. Because the difference between a stylist and a personal shopper, I've told you this before, a personal shopper will sell, but a guy that's been to you needs to have everything fitting properly from top to toe. You look at how a collar, how a shoulder, how a chest, how a waist, and you look at all those things, where the jacket finishes, where a shirt finishes. You just look at all this attention, excuse me, attention to detail, because it matters, because people are paying you for your expertise, and you need to look top to toe, whether the trouser fits properly, whether it needs to be tapered, whether it finishes correctly at the shoe, all this sort of stuff. It's really important that you know the different types of fits. Whether something is a traditional fit or a tailored, whether something is classic, whether it's wide. Learn all the shapes so that when you take clothes into the changing room, you're taking the right shape and the right fit. Because what you don't want is guys squeezing into things and they just look like big old sausages. Whereas they want this process to be stress-free and seam-free and effortless. Are you with me? Okay. Let's have a look at every detail matters. So I've just touched on this, and I'm going to just elaborate a little bit more. Guys, it's really important. It's so important that you know how to dress a body shape. It's really important that, that you know the difference between a classic fit and a slim fit. And when you go into a shop, one shop size might be different to another shop size. So it's important that you understand where you're shopping and how that best fits your client for that moment in time. Fit is so important. I looked after a billionaire. And this billionaire had 15 to 20 Tom Ford evening jackets in his wardrobe alone. Not one fitted. Not one fitted until I came along and I made him try on 1 or 2 or 3, and they were long on the sleeve and they were baggy on the arm and they didn't go in. I said to him, why don't these fit? He said, I don't know what you mean. I mean, they don't fit. You've spent £5,000, £6,000, £7,000 per jacket, and you've got so many jackets you've not even worn yet. And so fit is really important. It's really important. I think I've made that point. And when it comes to what's my take on accessories, you know, you can never under accessorize. The difference between good and great is detail. The difference between good and great is how you elevate somebody from what they already wear to what in addition can you bring to the table. You see, an outfit isn't just one thing. An outfit is different slice of a cake that come together to create a whole outfit. And accessories is a really important part of that. And there are many things to consider whilst you are giving, whilst you're taking while somebody entrusts this style into your hands, there are things you need to consider, like shoes, like socks, like belts. Some guys might want a watch. Some might want hats and glasses and bags and belts, sunglasses. I mean, the list, jewelry, bracelets, necklaces, earrings, the list is endless. And in your consultation, just cover everything. Notice what it is that they want, and then bring some other things to the table. Bring these little additions to elevate style and to finesse an outfit. The difference between maybe how I look and another dad on the playground is that I look at all my detail of my outfits. I don't look like I'm ready to give up, because what I wear and how I wear it matters. And so it should to your clients. When they walk away from you, they should feel like different people, because they have fit. They have clothes that fit and flatter the form. They have items in the wardrobe they would have considered, because you have gone, because you've taken them next level. Wardrobe basics. You know, there are a few things. Let me reverse. Let me go back a bit. Must-haves in a wardrobe. You know, we don't have to have massive wardrobes. We just need to have wardrobes that work for us. And quite often, when we look at our clients' wardrobes, it's full, but it's full of stuff they can't wear or don't wear or unable to wear or don't know how to wear. And it's a lot easier to create capsule wardrobes that are interchangeable. And here we go. So what are wardrobe essentials? You know, every guy should have a navy suit in the wardrobe, and a navy suit that's sharp and fitted whatever size they are, because the navy suit is the equivalent to a little black dress to a woman. And most women have a little black dress in their wardrobe. Most women have quite a few little black dresses in the wardrobe, but for a guy, navy suit. And a navy suit covers everything from weddings, funerals, to interview. You can wear a navy suit with a roll neck. You can wear a navy suit with a classic white shirt. You can wear it with a shirt and tie. You can wear it with a t-shirt. You can wear it with a polo t-shirt. It is universal. So as far as a suit, if you have one suit in the wardrobe, and most guys have a few, and most of them are really bad fitting, a navy suit. There are shirts here and t-shirts that you could wear. There are jackets, a leather jacket. You know, every guy should have some sort of leather jacket in their wardrobe. This probably suits me more. This is my kind of look. I wear one pair of shorts, two style shorts, dark shorts, all summer. And I would live in a pair of shoes, like those suede ones, and I'd mix up my t-shirts and shirts. That's it. I have a very clear uniform. So when it comes to wardrobe essentials, we don't need a lot. We just need enough to make work. And when it comes to men, I mean, look, 2 jackets, 5 shirts, 2 ties, 3 trousers, 2 pair of shirts is 120 outfits. Guys, we just like things simple. Simplicity is key. Now, admit that some guys like a walk-in wardrobe. Some guys like a lot. But what I'm saying is you don't need a lot. There are just some basics that you need in your wardrobe. I love this one. This one is one of my favorites. I could wear this. This, for me, would be a happy capsule wardrobe. So here you go. That's the must-haves. A suit, a good suit, a good pair of jeans, a white shirt, a white t-shirt, a claret, like a burgundy pair of shoes, a pair of trainers, sneakers, a good clean black pair of shoes. a couple of t-shirts, a couple of shirts, one or two fine jumpers. That's it. And what you can create with that is immeasurable. I want to talk a little bit about photo shoots, executing a menswear photo shoot. Now, most of my styling world has been either for live TV, online, or on red carpets, events, and photo shoots. So I have a huge experience when it comes to executing a menswear shoot. I want to come back to this. This was a shoot I did. This was for a guy who was going for a red carpet event. It was a real showy event, and I had half an hour to get him ready. So number one, organized. Look how organized that is. A couple of pairs of shoes I knew would work with everything. A couple of pairs of trousers that work with everything. A couple of options of shirts, then all those jackets. Simple. There was jewelry, there was accessories, there was things for pockets, there was, you name it, it was there. But look how organized that is. Being organized on a shoot is crucial. And I know I've said it before and I'll say it again. When you lay things out, you can see where everything is in front of you. Whether you've got 5 jackets or 50 jackets, it's not important. I put outfits together so that when a client is flicking through the rail on a shoot, that they're able to see understand my methodology of what I'm doing. I want to draw attention to this picture. Understand how big a job or how small a job is. This is a shoot I did on my own with all these people. All those guys I styled, all those clothes I ironed. One at a time they came through me and had me sort out their fitting whilst they were all in makeup. And then when they were all dressed, they all had my attention. Understand how big a job is. And if you can do it, great. And if you can't, because your skill set doesn't allow you, bring help in, or just say, you know what, that's just not for me, but thank you. So that's really important, that you understand how big or how small a brief is. This is me. That's me. That's an action shot of me at work. This guy is a chef for Marks and Spencer's, and we were filming some stuff. And having a bag, a kit bag that you take on set is so important, because I don't want to have to ask anybody for anything. I want to be organized, not just organized, but I want to have a really good kit. And sewing, I can sew. It's really important to be able to have some of these skills. I'm sewing his microphone cable around there so it disappears and you don't have a big cable down the front, because that's really unnecessary and ugly. And that t-shirt was quite tight and you would see the microphone. So being able to sew is really important. Being able to quickly peg things, having a kit bag of essentials is really important. I have 15 to 20 essential things in my kit bag that I take everywhere. And then some other things like candles and aromatherapy and what else? Loads of, my coffee machine. Loads of things I take with me. I want to talk about the fact that I often do live TV, and one of the things that's really important when you're executing a shoot is that that you just remain calm. You know, so this was in a studio and it was a live event. This is also a live event. Know where I stand, know where you stand in the pecking order when somebody goes live is really important. Where you need to step up and worry and where you don't. And when it's live and the environment is really stressful and everybody is stressing, it's really important that you just internalize and not get too frenzied about stuff. And some things are worth worrying about and some things aren't. You can't change things when it's live. So that's one thing. Also, the other thing is really important is when you get a brief for a job, so I work in TV, so I get executives who tell me how they want clients to look. I work in magazine. You get a magazine company that will tell you how they want a shoot to look. There are always other people who are telling you how they want people to look in a shoot. Really important that you understand the brief, that you understand it. And if you quite often people say to me, oh, I want him to look smart cash. And I'm like, okay, smart cash, what do you mean by smart cash? Can you send me a photograph of the ideal outfit? And I always ask for a visual, because my understanding of smart cash and your understanding of smart cash could be completely different. So they send a visual. And then I'll work on a mood board. This is one of the mood boards I put together for a client. They needed something for an aftershave campaign. And I put this together and I sent it. And then they signed it off. They said, you know what, that's brilliant. That's just what we're looking for. So, you know, understand the brief, understand how big it is, understand the language, send a mood board off, and then get it ticked off, get it approved. And then everything you buy or loan or borrow is going to be based on the mood board. And sometimes I find myself, above all else on a shoot, have fun. It should be fun, because we're not saving lives. It's not brain surgery. You know, fashion is fun, style is fun, the environment is fun. There are some environments I won't put myself in because they're too stressy. But when I find myself at work, I'm so energized, I'm so excited, and I love my job. I'm passionate about what I do. I want to bring the fun. I want to bring the fun. So have fun. I've talked about order. I've talked about having a kit bag. I've talked about remaining calm. I've talked about how to make sure that you know how big the job is. I've talked about having a mood board. I've talked about having fun. These are some of the things that I would throw into a mix on how to execute a menswear shoot. Sometimes you get all sorts of things thrown at you, and being able to. This one was a particularly crazy one. Not much styling, I hear you say. Okay, trends. I want to just talk quickly to you about trends, because it is your responsibility and my responsibility to understand the evolving how fashion evolves, and it's our responsibility to understand that we know what's coming next. So whether we research trends, whether we research colors, whether we research what's coming up, it's our responsibility. And when clients come to us, then it's good that we know what's coming so we can prepare their wardrobes for what's coming. It's good for us to know what colors, what textures. Let's look at dominant fabrics, dominant colors, dominant textures, dominant silhouettes, and then put some mood boards together. I've already talked about this. Do legwork of stuff. When you have a downtime, when you have a week where there's nothing in the diary, create Pinterest boards, mood boards of stuff that to do with the coming trends. And when a client picks up the phone and says, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that, you can send them the mood board that you've already created. So menswear trends. Also, I want to say about menswear trends, it's your and my responsibility to ensure that that we are able to translate a trend well for our client. I have a rule, and my rule is fashion is for boys, style is for men. And that's one I try and stick to, because lots of guys want to look fashionable, but it doesn't look good on them. And style is timeless. Style is timeless. So how you translate what is a current trend onto a client is really important. And this is a skill, and you can't underestimate that skill. So quickly, I've taken menswear trends and I've applied it. So here are some of the menswear trends coming through for 2020. Spring, summer 2020. I want you to look at the fact that the colors, I want you to look at the fact that there's an oversized, the suits are oversized. The fabric there's a lot of silk, there's a lot of satin, there's a lot of, everything is generous. There are specific colors here that are coming through. size has dropped, silhouettes have changed. So with that in mind, it's my job to take what's on the catwalks and then start creating little ideas of how I'm going to make that work for my client. So that's taken off the catwalk onto a mood board, which I've already talked to you guys about. And then finally, how to apply it. So one of the looks for spring summer 2020 is tone on tone. So how do I make tone on tone work for my client? I would think about how I can create tone on tone without alienating them from fashion, but bringing in style influence into their wardrobes. Brown and colors of brown is a spring, autumn color coming through to spring, summer. Who knew? But it is. So I would want to see how I can take that and translate it into something that's wearable for my clients. And where possibly a roll neck is not very spring, summer, I could swap that up. I could swap that up for a t-shirt, for a polo, for a shirt. So taking what's high fashion and making it highly stylish. Wide legs. Now, you know, for years, we've been getting our silhouettes tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. And now the silhouette is changing and trousers are wider legs. Some of my clients don't want to wear a big silhouette. They're not interested in that, but I can show them how by just maybe choosing a darker color, go a little bit wider. So taking a wide leg as a very strong spring summer look and applying it, translating it and applying it. That's how I would do that. And finally, oversized. Again, there's a huge emphasis on everything being oversized, suits oversized, jackets oversized, rugby shirts oversized, everything is oversized. My clients won't wear that on TV because it look terrible. And a lot of clients don't want to wear that in their real life. However, if I translate it to something like this, it's just wearable. The jacket is a little bit oversized, but everything else is slimmer. Then my clients will understand that, and they were more likely to wear this kind of thing. And also, let's look at some Pantones. Let's look at some colors. It's really important that we get a grasp of what are the colors coming through. So when our clients are asking, when they're saying, oh, I don't wear this and I don't wear that, I don't like yellow, but you can say, oh yeah, but there's a really lovely lemon. Oh, I like lemon, but I just don't like mustard. Oh, great. So understanding how colors that are coming through will work for your clients is really important. So keep your eye and your head in the color game. And finally, I'm going to wrap up with this. And finally, people always ask about money. How do you charge? What do you decide? How you charge? And here's the thing. I have been styling for 20 years. And you can't expect me and somebody who's been styling for a couple of months or a couple of years to be earning the same amount of money, because what I bring versus what you bring is very, very different. So my suggestion is that you just have a look around. So some people put their prices on their website pages. Some people talk about how much an hour they charge, how much a session. I do 3-hour sessions. I find that guys like shopping and 3 hours is enough. So I generally say you can buy a 3-hour session, a personal styling session. You can have a 3-hour wardrobe edit session. You can have a 3-hour online consultation or a 2-hour online consultation. And these are things that I do, and I think about how much I want to charge my clients based on my experience. It's different in film and it's different in TV because often they have a very particular budget, and you have to work to that budget and decide whether you want to work for that budget or not. But you can't moan once you take on a job knowing how much a job is you're going to be paid. So that's my advice when it comes to how do you charge. Do your research. work out how much you think you are worth and charge that amount. I think that's fair. I'm sure I'm sure I could talk for an awful lot more, but I think I'm going to leave it there. I've covered an awful lot of ground in that time, and I appreciate that I've spoke like half an hour more than I should have, and I haven't really given you much time for questions. So I really would like to I'd really like to hand over back to Amrita and just say, guys, if you've got questions that you'd like to ask, I'm really happy to try and answer some of them now if you all haven't fallen asleep. So do you have questions?
As if you all have any questions, just feel free to put it down in the chat box. Thank you, Phill. That was lovely.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay,
I'm really looking forward to coming out and meeting you guys. You know that.
Same here. Yes, Shrestha, you can type your question down. Phill, do you have access to the chat window?
Oh, there's a chat. Shall I tap on the chat?
Yes, please. There are a few questions in there.
Great. Chat. Okay, here we go. It was a great, so it was, oh no, right. I need to go right to the bottom, don't I, and then start. So it was the biggest learning curve. How do I, oh, Amrita, this is, all right, 134, 134, 134. Okay, amazing session, loved it, says Chandana, thank you very much indeed, it's very kind. How to decide how much I should charge, keeps going. Oh, how do I stop? So I've assisted people, celebs, over the time. I've gained a lot of experience in the past 1 year, but there are some professionals who want to get the work done, but don't have the budget to pay. At this point, after working for a while, should I take up such projects if there is no payment? That's a really good question. I know here, I know there's a lot of work experiences you can do in the UK. But they are trying to, I tend to think you never know where a job is going to go. When you take on a job, you never know where it's going to go, and you have to go with your instinct if you think that is worth your time or not. Some people working with is great, some is not. So I think instinctively know whether or not a job is worth your time, and if you've got nothing else in your diary, then I say do it. I have found that the jobs that I didn't understand why I was doing have led to jobs that have really opened up for me, and I'm talking about in my early career when I was not earning a lot of money at all. So I appreciate I appreciate that you're not earning money and you have been assisting people, but keep working, keep hustling. Thank you very much for this informative session. Garima, thank you very much. Amazing session, loved it, thank you. I want to know how to choose the men's accessories, like for red carpets. What goes with casual? Are there accessories for every day and night? When and how you use accessories for men, and what exactly is the most fashionable now? Okay, so That's Wafa. I want to know how to choose men's accessories. Well, it's very simple. It depends on your sense of style. So for me, I like a lot of accessories to disappear. I like tone on tone. I like outfits to look clean, and my accessories will be clean to match. And occasionally, if I have a real simple suit, I might put a real interesting pair of shoes on just to lift an outfit and to give it a sense, an edge. So I do that, and it's instinctive. Like what for us? So red carpets. It depends on the character. Depends on the character, the age, the type of person. So your David Beckham and your Jared Leto, they would wear two very different things. So it really does depend on your client. You have to listen to your client. You have to give what your client requests and bring some alternatives. I had two red carpets that I had a few months ago. One had a bright yellow velvet jacket, a sheer shirt, skinny black trousers, black patent shoes. It was an incredible look. And that's because he wanted a wow factor. He wanted to stand out. Whereas another guy, he was presenting on red carpet. He was presenting awards. I had to think carefully what suit he could wear that would separate him from everybody else, but not be too garish on camera. So, you know, you have to use your instinct and rely on the character of the person that they're working with. You just bring stuff to the table and also try. Just try, because what's the worst that can happen? You just say, that's good, but we can better this. Let's try this. Let's try that. And then you collaboratively will bring an outfit together. I keep using my finger, but it's, can't use your finger on a, okay. I need a teenager now. What are the accessories for every day and night? So I have one belt that I wear on every one of my shorts and every one of my trousers, and that's it. And they'll go with all my shoes, and it's just a brown belt. It's a dark chocolatey brown leather belt, and that's it. And that's what I choose. So I'm always about just making things simple and uncomplicated and unfussy. So and if you research accessories, if you want to find out what's fashionable, just go online, have a look at some of your shops, and have a look at their accessories. They evolve so quickly. How can you improve or elevate your own sense of style? It's a really good question. I'm going to tell you how you do this. So as men, we gravitate to the same shops, buy the same clothes, wear the same stuff time and time and time and time again. And I'm often asked, how do you break that cycle? Well, one simple way of doing that is when you go and gravitate towards the same something, just two things. Firstly, have a look at what the shops are doing. Have a look at what's on the mannequins. Have a look at what people are trying to sell you. Have a look at that as an inspiration and see if who you are and what's on the mannequin is similar, and whether your sense of style can be improved by looking at what's on that mannequin. And secondly, if you like t-shirts like this, and this is what you buy all the time, and you like dark t-shirts, next time you go to buy a t-shirt like this, just challenge yourself to buy a slightly different color. Look at people. Another thing is just look at people that inspire you in what they wear and why they inspire you. What is it about what they wear? And then take photographs. Keep photographs in your phone, and don't waste money on stuff that you think you should be wearing. I have a very clear understanding of what suits me. I know what suits me, and I don't fall in the trap of buying fashion because it's fashionable. I buy something because it's stylish and it suits me. And so my sense of style from top to toe has to do with my hair. How do I want my hair to look? And I have a haircut that has a big quiff, and this. And I don't care whether quiffs are fashionable or not. It suits me. So I feel stylish with my quiff. I've got some really geography teacher glasses, as my kids like to call them. You know, how you choose your glasses, how you choose your accessories. Every little bit about you can elevate your sense of style. How to approach big brands when you start out. That's a really good. That's a really good question. And the reality is big brands won't touch you unless you're working with somebody big. So network, and rather than go to the big brands, unless you have big money to spend with big brands, just I would say look for new and emerging designers. Look at new talent. Look at new people who need exposure, and give them your time. Not the people who already have the exposure and who are paying lots of money to advertise. Great if you've got the money. Great if your client wants to go to expensive shops and buy expensive clothes. I'm happy to take all my wealthy clients to expensive shops because that's what they want. But don't fall for the trap that that's what everybody needs. So just keep your eye out for emerging designers, because there are in design schools and fashion colleges, and students are all emerging. They're all going to be somewhere in 5-10 years time, and they'll be very grateful for your support. So just keep an ear out for emerging. And you, as your career is emerging and their career is emerging, kind of emerge together and form connections. I already spoke about connections. These are the connections that I am talking about. Can you please tell me the best way to research trends? Yes, go online. Google 2020 trends for men. Go and Google. Have a look. Screen grab. Take shots. Create mood boards of trends like I've done. It's really simple. Just Google. It's honestly Google. You can buy. You can subscribe and pay money for trend analysis. There are lots of companies who do this. They will tell you what colors are going to be fashionable in 2, 3, 4 years time. They are trend analyzers, and they're pretty much true. They're very good. They're very expensive, and they will tell you what fabrics, what words, what feelings, what colors. It's their job to know what color trends are coming in the next year to 2 years. So that's an expensive way of doing it, or the cheaper way for immediate is just to Google. Okay, how do you tap into personal styling shopper market? So first one is if you want to be a personal shopper, you need to be discovered. Right back at the beginning, we were talking about branding, social media. Getting people to know who you are. That's where you start. You start getting your house in order, your personal social media in order, and then you start sending that out to people. Make sure your website is discoverable. Gosh, what a mistake that's been for me for years and years and years. Now people are finding me because I've got I'm search engine optimized. So now that I'm doing that, people are discovering me. It's crazy. I'll come to Dubai soon, and hopefully I will pick up clients in Dubai. I'll come and hopefully teach you guys in Dubai how to do this even more. So I'm looking forward to that, that's for sure, wherever you are. Also, is it a thing where we can't pair up brown and black accessory shoes together? Okay, so here's the thing. People say, is this a thing? Is that a thing? Brown shoes, it really depends on brown shoes. Some brown shoes look cheap. I don't care how expensive they are. They just look cheap. So if you can make an outfit look expensive without it being expensive, that's the key. One of my favorite combinations is brown and black. Another favorite combination is navy and black. Oh, I love those combinations, and I wear them. Got them on today. So it's a thing where we compare brown and black accessories together. Yeah, I mean, if I want a belt to disappear, I choose the same color belt as the suit. So there is no attention to the waist, that all the colors kind of emerge and blend, and it's a real lovely tone on tone. And then the shoes, I choose to make the shoes pop. I do that to make a style statement. Nobody notices the belt because it disappears, but people notice the shoes. If you want to slice somebody in half, then you draw attention to it with the belt. So if you want to put black and brown, you match it together. It depends on the brown. Depends on the black. So not really an answer. I tried. How do you deal with customers who want to look like celebrities or others, but it doesn't match their personalities? Oh, yes, that's a great question. So this is all about the consultation. We've talked about the consultation, how important it is to nail that, consultation, to understand what the brief is. The thing with celebrity culture is that we are so immersed in celebrities that we want to associate them, we want to be like them, we want their lifestyle, we want everything about, not even they have their lifestyle. Not even they have their lifestyle. They have stylists who get them clothes. They have makeup artists who do their makeup. They have people who run around after them. They have teams of people that make them look effortlessly beautiful. Not even they look like them. Anyway, what was the question? How do you deal with customers who want to look? Okay, I'm quite honest. And I think integrity, that's a good word. Integrity is really important because if people are buying your service, and I have this a lot, people buy my service as a stylist, and once they leave me and I tell them they're looking excellent, they're looking cool, they're looking younger, they're 10 years younger, they look smarter, they look sharper, they look more in control, they look authoritative, they look creative, you know, all these words that guys use. And then they go back to their friends and their friends go, you paid money for that? I will never have a return client. So integrity is really important. And if your client wants to look like somebody and you think it's not going to suit them, then have that conversation and tell them why you don't think it's going to suit them. And if they insist on looking like that, then you'll say, honestly, if you, I will shop to your brief. I will shop to your brief. This is your brief and I will deliver your brief. And people are paying you, remember, people are paying you for a service. They want you to elevate their style. Quite often people come to you because they don't know how they want to look. Sometimes they come to you because they do know how they want to look. It's still a brief. So if you tell them that it's not a good thing and they still go ahead with it, it's not on your head. What are brands you go for if your client doesn't have a budget? Okay, I go for lots of brands that don't have logos. So I use high street brands here in the UK. I use brands like, I love Uniqlo. I think Uniqlo is an incredible brand that does really good basics, really good denim. The denim is brilliant, the cottons are brilliant, the linens are brilliant, and you would never know because there's not one logo on them. And then quite often what I do with my clients, hey, I'll tell you this. So I take my clients to buy expensive suits. Boom, let's go, and we'll go to Boss, and we'll go to, you know, wherever it is they have enough money to spend to look corporate, sharp, and edgy, and then I'll say, right, don't buy that £200 cashmere wool jumper that you'll put in the washing machine and shrink the first day you wash it. Let's go to Uniqlo and buy 2 or 3 similar jumpers you can put underneath. And if you shrink it, no problem, go back. And they are 20, 30, 40 pounds, which is, it's so much cheaper. So I am really happy not to spend clients' money unnecessarily. I will give them advice on how to buy something cheaper or more expensive. That's a sign of a good stylist, I think. What should there be in the kit bag? Essential things. White candles. Oh, it's a great question. Okay, things that are in my kit bag are clips to tie things at the back, 2-pay tape to stick things down. I have scissors to cut labels. I have a quick unpick. I have a sewing kit so I can sew things, and threads that are loads of different colors so I can sew things that need to be sewn down. I have something called a micro stitch, which is like a little gun. It's like a little tag gun, but it's mini, mini, mini to take up hems and then take them out again, or fix. If I have to cut a label off a suit and then reattach it, micro stitch. Wire candle, because when I work in a room, in a studio, whether it's a photographic studio or whether it's a film studio, when my client comes into my room and they see organization and everything outside the room is crazy, people running around and paint is still drying and lights are going up, and you know, they come into my room, and there's a really lovely smelling candle, and it's all calm and relaxed. And I've got some little kind of lovely coffee time music on in the background. That's just like a little oasis. And when people come to me for a styling experience, I want them to have that little bit of oasis. So that's why a candle. Essential things like, I think I've said a few of the essential things that are, it's just important. Hairdryer. I always take a hairdryer. I take underarm pits so that when my guys are on TV, that they don't look like they sweat, and I sew them in or I micro stitch them in. What else do I have in my queue? I have polish, shoe polish of every color, a little buffer, a shoehorn. I have a really long one, so you haven't got to bend down when you put your nice shoes on. I always have spare socks. I have a hole punch for a belt in case the client comes to you and they're like, oh, I've lost weight, and I'm able to do that. What else? Yeah, quite a few things. I hope that answers some of your question. Can we look into what trend forecasters depict for trends? Can we look into what trend forecasters depict for trends in fashion? Yeah, we can do that. I can't do that now, but it's definitely something that can be done. So I'm from India. If I open a website for personal styling, how do I approach the market? Promotion is later part, but what to do to build a strong website? So the first thing to do with a strong website is to know, to build your brand. There's an incredible book that I read that I don't have right now. It's a brilliant book. If you direct message me, Priyanka, if you direct message my Instagram, I'll try and remember, and I will send a photograph of the book. It tells you about branding, how to build your brand, how to style what font, what colors, what language, what first impressions you want to create. So build a website, use really good language, make sure that the job that you're doing, those words are in your website, key search engine words. Write down what you do, who you are, write vlogs, why you're good. You need to have photographs to go on your website. So there are a few things. How do I approach the market? I'm from India. If I open a website for personal styling, how do I approach the market? So you essentially approach the market, you just tell the market what skills you have. If you go on my website, guys, go on my website. If you've got a mobile phone, go on my website, and you will see when you flick past the, let's have a look. I haven't got it now. If you flick past my website, and you will see the sort of skills that I offer. Just make sure that what's on your website, people will understand what skills you're offering. It's really clear. Are we okay, Amrita?
I'm okay. Phill, you've been speaking for quite some time. What I could also do
so much longer. There's so many questions.
I understand. So what I think I would suggest is we would collate all these questions, or if necessary, we could have another session. You've been speaking for more than 90 minutes. I think it's best you take a break. I could collate these questions and then have it sent to you, and then we could probably arrange for another session sometime soon.
Oh my gosh, that's a great idea. You know how much I'd love that, Amrita.
Perfect. I'll do that then. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. Thank you, Phill.